So here it is. Wendy 4LT Edits posted my 2023 New Year rezos. I segmented it off of life, fitness, and content. Okay. On the life part, get a haircut. Immediately did that. More podcast/TV show appearances and collabs. Did that. Go to Japan with Lud and Yard and friends. Didn't do that with Lud and Yard, but did do it with friends twice. Travel even more, which I did. Adopt a puppy for real this time. Also did. Raise more than 1.5 million, 500K plus last year. This year, we raised almost 3 million. I think close to 3 million, if not 3 million, with like my own personal donations, plus also the money that we raised together in the community. So, you know, that was pretty pog. Improve personal outlook, brand, and gain more charitability from haters and normies alike. Didn't do that. That actually is in the pooper. I will say that was a big L. Okay? That one, big L. Definitely not great. Okay? Big failure on that front. I will admit that. I will cop to that. Okay? Yell less, be happier, no more responding to haters. I also will cop to that. Not great. Not great. As far as fitness goes, you said this last year too when you watched the rewind. Everyone forgets what happens. Around 50% of the work goes to just finding all the content. Yeah. You said this last year too when you watched the rewind. Everyone forgets this happens. This year it's more significant because of what's happening in Palestine. Around 50% of the work goes to finding all the content. Yeah. You yelled less, useless debates with chatters, though. I mean, I did it like twice. I think you guys are having recency bias a little bit. PR year is going similar to trying to cover up the Contra affair. No, it's just never going to happen. My haters are too dedicated. I just got to fucking keep my head down and keep cracking. You know what I mean? And keep making awesome content. Fitness, 16% body fat by July. Keep it in the gym. I did not hit 16% body fat this year. I'm still around 20%. However, I was at that point 255 pounds. I did get to 245 pounds, not by March, but I did get to it by like, I think July. And I'm still there. I didn't get to 230 by the end of the year. That didn't happen. And bench press 225 for 15. I don't know if I can do 15 right now, but you know, it's up there. Squat 315 by 12. I can't do that. I don't think. But it's also close to that. Deadlift, I actually passed 405 by 8. I did 405 by 12 easily like a month ago. Can't dunk yet. Start fight training, not for a real fight. Didn't do that. So didn't dunk, didn't start fight training as far as like doing cardio. But I did focus a lot on basketball, so that was good. As far as content goes, make standalone VOD content that isn't on stream. Did do that. Except, you know, HasanAbi still has videos, I think, in the actual chamber, okay? More charity streams, bigger and better. Yes, did that. 50K average, 30K average gaming. Nope. That part is the most in the pooper, okay? As far as, like, goals that I set for myself that I did not achieve, that probably is the most glaring one, considering that I'm like a sub 20K Andy now. That did not happen. She's showing off. She's being a cutie. Those are Kai Cenat numbers. It ebbs and flows in content creation. I agree. But I thought it was going to be ebbing and flowing in that direction. I mean, shit was popping off in 2022, so I think it was a reasonable reso and goal. Yeah. For a moment, you were a 30K Andy somehow. Wait, what? No, I was always a 30K Andy. I've been a 30K Andy every single year. I wanted to go higher than that, and then I didn't. I mean, to be fair, you ban 1/3 of your audience, lulls, so... No, that's not the reason. No, Twitch as a whole went down in viewership, but I would say I probably went down a lot at the end of this year, way more than way more than before. But yeah, we'll see. Politics doesn't have just as much as a reach. Yeah. Remember, 2023 was not an election year, but neither was 2022. I guess it was, but like not as poppin' of an election year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens this year with the election coming up, but I don't think people are that interested in it. Do you think it's because leftist politics isn't as fashionable? Yes. 100%. I think that definitely has a lot to do with it. But I think most people don't realize this, but like I was a leftist political streamer before it was fashionable. It got fashionable during the Trump era with Bernie Sanders and then also with Donald Trump, because everybody was like, oh, I'm a communist now. I fucking absolutely hate Donald Trump. That must make me a communist. And then a lot of those people either, one, checked out of politics entirely when Joe Brandon became president, or two, basically were like, oh, never mind. I'm actually a super Democrat. Like I'm a liberal, like especially when it comes to foreign policy. Like I love American foreign policy. I'm fully on board with it, which I think is like a big part of the reason why there have been like a lot of there's been a lot of deviations. Your sub count hasn't dropped insanely. I think people are just very disillusioned by American politics at the moment. I think a lot of people don't want to think about it because there have been so many L's. Yeah. But Trump trials are coming, which is even bigger than the election. Let's be real. Anyone complaining about genocide coverage should probably look inward to why they are such shitty people. Okay, but you have to remember, like, I'm a news network as well for a lot of people. Like, this is something I have to think about all the time. I'm supposed to be, well, not just a news network, but like I'm supposed to be both entertaining, comedic, and also cover a broad variety of news. So for that reason, like, yes, doing exclusive Palestine coverage, which is something I care about quite a bit, is something I'm going to keep doing. But like the reality is that's going to alienate a lot of people. Because why the fuck would anybody want to like constantly, like if CNN was only doing, Gaza news coverage, like people would stop watching as well, because like there's a need for all these other news things that are happening as well. Do you think it's anything to do with consistent Middle East coverage too? Not saying it was a bad thing, it was a good thing to cover it, hopefully continue, but it doesn't seem like view count decreased in the past 2 to 3 months. Yes, 100%. It is. Yeah, I think it's basically for that reason. You got a plan to get back up there, 30K? I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. My point is this, guys. I have been a leftist far before I was popular. Guys, stop running away from the camera, lady. So what a lot of people don't realize is because of that, I was doing this shit when I had 30 fucking views, okay? I was saying the same shit. So for me, I'm used to taking L's. Like, I definitely got comfortable taking W's. Like, I got used to it, took it for granted a little bit. But the reality is, being a very... Although I feel you covered Ukraine heavily too and the view count didn't suffer as much, with Ukraine, it was white people. It was white people being slaughtered. That 100%. There's no ands, ifs, or buts on that. Straight up. People just don't care. People literally don't care about Palestinians getting ruthlessly slaughtered. They just don't. When it's white people, it's like way more captivating, way more interesting. It's like, I mean, the news reiterated this plenty of times where they kept saying, this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen in Europe. This doesn't happen in Europe. And they were saying that because they were talking about how, this doesn't happen to white people. It is Palestine coverage, but it was dropping before that, yet your sub count wasn't dropping at the same rate. I think people just don't want to watch as much because people feel helpless. Nothing has improved. Yeah, I think that there is that too. I think it's just like people are bored. It makes sense. You have fucking Donald Trump and Joe Biden going at it again. Like, it's not fun. It's like a rerun. You know what I mean? this is a terrible election cycle from a content perspective. We'll see what happens with Donald Trump's trial. I think that will be interesting. But overall, ACAP for Cutie, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. You can't put too much weight on a goal, something you can't fully control. Viewer count is weird to put a solid number on. No, I know. But like I said, I was doing this in the mud, okay? I'm used to taking L's. This is something that I try to explain to leftists all the time. You're going to take a lot of L's. You're going to take a lot of L's throughout your political journey. You are going to take a lot of L's throughout your experience as a leftist. You're not doing this for popularity. You're doing this because it's right. So it is something definitely you have to remember. Anecdotally, I watched way less since October 7th. When you're dealing with lots of stuff in your personal life, it becomes too much. The Ukrainian coverage was less depressing because the Palestinian people are in such a hopeless situation. It's hard to hear everyone in my life being psychotic than all the coverage showing the slaughter. Yeah. Also, you don't exist in a vacuum. You have competitors that are actually, in general, people who share your opinion, and more importantly, news fatigue 23. No, it's not the competition or anything like that. I don't think that's the real reason. I think, the haters probably had, some level of impact of successfully tarnishing my reputation or making it seem like I'm not a reliable news outlet. But overall, it's mostly because I don't have a regular mainstream perspective on foreign policy. I never have, but that is definitely one very clear deviation that I have from the rest of the American-based news and politics content creators for the most part, with the exception of the obvious ones that you know about. Anyway, regardless, overall, like I said, that was a lofty goal that we didn't get there, but it's all good. And even if it goes worse, it still doesn't matter because that's where I started. That's what I'm used to. That's what the longest part from 2014, 2015 till 2020, that was my career, right? Only in the last 3 years, 4 years has for the first 6 years of my career, I was nothing. I had nothing. Only for the last 4 years of my career did it become a popular thing. And a lot of people took it for granted and talked about how oh, you're doing this for popularity. And it's well, I haven't shifted. I haven't shifted my policies in the same way that many others have, right? There have been so many content creators in this space that have absolutely resorted to doing reactionary content, incredibly toxic shit. I haven't stopped covering the same shit I've been covering in the exact same, with the exact same perspectives that I've been covering. So odd that people who suggested that I was actually malleable morally, or morally lucky, and yet for some reason I am very grounded in my positions, and I haven't really changed all that much at all. But of course, those very same people will then turn around and go, "Oh, it's not actually consistency for him. It's because he's ideological, and therefore now I've decided it's actually better to be malleable, and that just means you're looking at new information and changing your perspective." So anyway, yeah, that's something to remember. Okay, let's continue with the list, and then we're going to get back to the recap, the rewind. Plaid on Valo, Lamau, if I don't quit. See, notice how I put the if I don't quit in there? That's because I know myself. Okay? I know that, Valorant. Okay, Valorant, it was good. It was fun while it lasted, but of course I had to quit it. It was... You quit every game, brother? Okay, first of all, there's a multiplayer game. It's not like there's a single-player storyline. Okay? So I apologize. Smoke weed with poke, that was a big L. Probably my worst L. That's a way bigger L than being at the top of the hour and not having a fucking subscription so you see a 3-minute ad break. I would say that it's akin to that. May I suggest not only RDC, but more black content creators on the stream? It's like a mayo market in this bitch. Brother, I'm mayonnaise, okay? You're looking at me every fucking day. What do you want me to do? I'm the Mayo Market because it's Hellman's up in this bitch, okay? I'm the mayonnaise man. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard. They said make more black friends, Lamau. I have black friends. They're just normies. The fuck am I going to do? To be like, hey, I'm going to bring my normie black friends on so I can be like, hey guys, I want to prove something. No, but that chatter is correct. He's talking about black content creators, which I have had a bunch of black content creators on as well. Okay. Scary Games with Friends series. I did do that for the record. I did do that. Blacksmith stream and more IRL content. Did do that. Bill Burr comes on stream and or pod. Did not happen. Go on Joe Rogan Experience. Lol. That was a meme joke. Get on a Mr. Beast video. Close to happening, but didn't actually end up happening. Have Mr. Beast on the podcast. I didn't even actually ask for that. Collab with the W community more. We went in the exact opposite direction. Speaking of which, ironic, because that chatter said, collaborate with black content creators more. This was in the beginning of 2023, and it was a very different time, as you will see right here. Okay? I tried to collaborate with the W community. It did not work. Okay? A lot of the W community went to kick. And beyond that, a lot of the W community did not fuck with me at all, partially because this community is very political. And their perspective of this community, and this is like pre-Tate or kind of in the Tate era at this point, their perspective of this community was like that we are a bunch of, we're a bunch of annoying, smarmy, constantly trying to fucking cancel people, softies in here, which is understandable because it's true. People in the W community don't hate you. No, I know. It's just that it's not that the W community content creators hate me. It's that there are at least like big W community content creators that do. So some of this community does do that, and it's literally the scourge of this community. I agree. No, there's definitely a lot of people in this community that are very outspoken and get like very mad and want to cancel people, and that is true. The fact that every streamer at the Streamer Awards said they would hate the mod in this chat should have been a moment of reflection for the motherfuckers in there. Yeah, I don't think people understand that. Like, people don't see how we are perceived by the outside world. Should have paid that phantom tax, little bro. Dude, I'm the one who taxes, okay? What do you mean, the phantom tax? I'm the one who does the phantom tax to my friends, okay? Their audience is to be younger and more immature too, so they're kind of all over the place sometimes. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I would tax Phantom. I would Phantom tax Phantom. So, so that didn't work out. Aiden Ross, 1v1 basketball, destroy him, teach him the ways. This is like pre-Tate arc like this was in the midst of the Tate arc, in the beginning of the Tate arc where I thought, Aiden Ross could have been saved, okay? And I tried my best. I tried so fucking hard. I tried so goddamn hard. But ultimately, the reality is you can't help someone who, whose bag relies on them not being helped, okay? Like, he saw a massive audience with an Andrew Tate, and it, I think, changed the trajectory of his life dramatically. It altered the course of his life dramatically. I think in a negative way. He probably thinks it's a positive. He probably thinks it's a positive in general. But, now he's a kick guy. But yeah, set Fearan straight with solid schedule plus guess. We did that. That's a definite check. That definitely happened. Big W. Fearan probably biggest W of the year overall. Alveus with Maya, that's on me. Obviously, that's a big L for me. Disney with Cutie, on the other hand, absolutely a fat, whopping L for Cutie Cinderella. That's 100% her fault. IRL content with RDC didn't actually end up happening, but that's in the works still. Teach Todic life lessons. He helps me get to plat in Valo. I guess I kind of did that with Todic, but not a lot. So overall, I would say I think my resolutions I knocked out of the park for the most part. Like, it's not going to be 100%. And honestly, most of the time people put resolutions up and don't do any of it. You know what I mean?